Three charts that help explain what's behind the AI bubble fears. Investors use .com era playbook to dodge AI bubble risks. Once the AI bubble pops, we'll all suffer. Could that be better than letting it grow unabated? These are headlines that boomers are calling out on the very obvious AI bubble that is ahead. The thing that concerns me is how it is lining up with the crypto bubble, the social media bubble, and how millennials, Gen Z, and basically the world is expecting the economy to crash next year. Now, I am not a financial advisor, a public accountant, an economic specialist, or any of those things, but even the people that are seem to be agreeing that my prediction that the crypto cycle is going to peak somewhere between, I was originally saying between October and February, but the more time that goes on, the more I'm expecting the cycle to extend and this to eventually, it could be looking at January, February for a Bitcoin top, but I'm all but certain you can expect much, much higher prices, new highs, as early as Thanksgiving. I'm including this graph because this is what people new to crypto psychologically expect for the price to do when they buy. They want to buy at any point in time and only ever see the price go up without it ever going down. And then they start punching the air when that doesn't happen. You have to go into markets expecting volatility and riding the entire trend. It does not just go up in a straight line like this. Or does it? Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. We see here we are looking at daily candles, and I've said in previous videos, each of these candles or price movements represents one day. That is the time zone being used here. And you'll see since July, it's been relatively uneventful. And I believe that's what's causing people to get frustrated with the market. However, if you zoom out, and you see all of this volatility dating back to September 2024. Let's make these weekly so we have a little bit more less chaotic graph here. And let's zoom in to 2024. Stay. What do we notice? Lots of volatility for one thing, but if I want to draw a line, it's almost like if you just buy and hold, there is a straight line that goes up. But the problem is, though, jokes aside, the market starts to run like this, and people start selling items and doing all sorts of taking. I've heard of guys taking out HELOCs and mortgages on their loan to buy crypto when it starts running like this. And it's the worst thing you can do because you buy here, it'll run a little bit more and then it retraces and then it retraces again. And then people get scared and then it shakes you out. Well, I don't want to lose any more money, so I'm going to sell at a loss and just deal with it, and then it runs up like this again. And this goes back to what I've been speaking about, buying fear and selling greed. Because if you're selling greed, you're accumulating fear down here. And then we hit extreme greed and then you sell. And then you wait. Because not a lot is going on, not as lot of going on, not as lot is going on. That's from March to July. But from March, April, May, June, July, if you sold here and then the market dumps down here, you're selling at a premium and you're buying it on sale. That's what you're doing when you sell greed and you buy fear. But people want to buy and think, oh, I'm going to buy here, I'm going to buy here, and it's going to go up and up and up and up. And if it ever go, but that's not what happened. They buy here, it spikes up, and then it crashes. People get on Reddit, on social media, calling it a scam. Then it rips up again. They stay out, and then it rips up again. And then when it starts to peak into euphoria, they jump back in, and then it shakes them out again. Then they sell everything again, and then it runs up again, and then they call crypto a scam. That is how people lose their ass in crypto. What you want to do, instead of treating crypto like a gambling casino where you just throw money at it and hope for the best, you treat the crypto markets like generations before us treated the S&P 500. Throw a little bit in the market every month, every month, every month, every month. Why? Because even if you bought high every month, every month, every month, you're throwing it in, the portfolio's drawing down every month, but you're accumulating a position here between this point and this point. And now the market runs with the position you accumulated at this level, and now you're up however many dollars. You have to change your mindset from reactive to proactive. And we have to keep all of that in mind, not just with crypto, but the world in general as this AI bubble approaches and everyone feels as well the death of social media coming. And I believe the death of social media is coming because more and more people are starting to become more conscious and awakened to how frivolous attention, validation outside of oneself is, and how detrimental it. That is why the dating market is destroyed currently. That is why marriage is plummeted. That is why just the general behavior of humans is just generally shitty. Even TikTok chads and their Mercedes are getting note of this.
I bought my dream car and now I'm getting rid of it. Here she is. It's a Mercedes AMG GT53. Why are you getting rid of it, Nick? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, reason number one, it's not as exciting as it once was or as I thought it was going to be. When I first got it, very exciting. Loved driving it. People would tell me how nice it was. That was cool. Never had a car that anyone ever said, that's a nice car. That felt nice. But then it faded away. That feeling of excitement faded away. And it's a good thing. I realized that no thing outside of me will ever make me happy, ever. Now, it makes you wonder if I am not excited about the car anymore. It's been less than a year, keep in mind. Why did I really buy it? Was it because I wanted it so bad and I love the car so much? Or did I just want other people to know that I can buy it? Now, if you asked me when I bought it, am I buying it for other people? I would have said, no, absolutely not. I love the car. I feel like you can't really tell until you have the car. Reason number two, I can't afford it. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. It's a $1,200 payment plus another $400 for insurance. I don't even really notice it, to be honest, coming out of my account. Not saying that to sound like a whatever, but I do okay, make a few $100,000 a year, don't really notice the payment. However, I have no property. My plan is to get a bunch of rental property and have that pay for things like this that have a monthly payment on it. Reason number three, it's a little embarrassing. Recently, I was out with a client of mine, and he does very well, a lot better than me. And we kind of both know each other's numbers, and we got in my car, and I could tell like we were both feeling, you shouldn't be driving this car. He knows I have a business to invest in, I should be buying property. We both know I shouldn't be driving this car. The only people that are impressed with the car that you drive are people that can't buy that
So
car.
we have early whispers of an AI bubble. We are predicting that the crypto bubble is going to peak sometime between December and February. And you're starting to see people on social media becoming disenchanted with luxury items and status flexing. On top of all of that, the YouTube channel I follow for unfluff economic advice is pointing to the Federal Reserve is about to start printing money again. And if you don't remember what happens when they print money, just remember back to March 2020. Remember a certain global event that happened? They started handing out checks to everyone. Everyone was saying things like, well, I don't care if I go back to my bartending and server's job. I'm getting more money from these checks. They went out, started spending it. Next thing everyone knows, groceries are 50 to 75% more than they were before. We are heading into an environment where an AI bubble is peaking, crypto is peaking, and people are becoming less and less impressed with luxury items and flexing and things. This is a time for preparation. What I would be doing if I were you is accumulating and investing strongly in this crypto market. Plan to take your money out at that top, and you'll do a combination of buy assets with it or wipe out any existing debt that you have. Preferably, you don't want to have any debt going into it, but everyone's situation is different. Vehicles and homes. You need a vehicle to get around. I wouldn't go out and get a Mercedes. I would pay off a vehicle that's going to last you 10, 20, 30 years. There's a few brands that can do that. It's not the time to be flexing on your friends with the latest Audi. Get something reliable. If you're a single person like myself who is not married and don't have kids, okay, you're renting. Do you want to buy a home? Because everyone was pressing me to buy a home over the last 2 years. Now everyone's gotten thrown out of their jobs and stuck with a mortgage payment. If you're someone who avoided that trap, this is a prime opportunity for you. Whether you're choosing to buy in the United States or anywhere else in the world, you'll want to get out at the top of the crypto market, hold that money in, and simply wait. You're likely going to be waiting 10 to 18 months because that's how long it takes for a crypto drawdown. Let's prove that with a chart. Sorry, I quick pulled up Perplexity. It's like ChatGPT, but it's connected to the internet so you can pull real data. I had it search for the bottom of the housing market after 2008, and surprisingly, it took 18 or 17 months. So I said Bitcoin bottoms or the cycle bottoms occur 10 to 18 months after the previous cycle's top. Here's December 12th or December 2nd, 2013. Here's December 2014, so that's 12 months. 13 months, 14 months, 15 months, 16 months, 17 months, and that final dip down, 18 months to 220. So that's 18 months. Let's go to the next cycle. See if that's the cycle top or not. Yeah. Here's another cycle where we ran up. December 18th, 2017. Notice how that's two cycles where the peak happened in December. What month is coming up right now? I digress. Here's December 2017. Here is December 2017. December 2018, that's 12 months. And the cycle bottom, basically 12. Yeah, that was almost a year exactly. So the first one was 18 months. The second one was 12. Let's move it up to the next. Here's the cycle peak. Not December this time, but November. Notice when these peaks are coming in. And now that's November 2021 to, here's November 2022. That's a year again. That's another 12 months drop down. And then so we had one 18 months, we had another one 12 months, and another one 12 months. And we're getting ready to run up again into another cycle peak. It's not all exact science, but it's very fairly accurate. So my opinion is if you get in these markets and you can ride this final wave of euphoria, we're going into November, going into December. The Fed's going to start printing money. When they start printing money, everyone is going to think, oh, BlackRock, all of the big banks, XRP maxis, they're like, that money's going to start pouring in. That's inevitably when euphoria is going to start. That's going to cause a peak in the market, and that's when you start taking profits, and then you just stand back and wait. 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, however long it takes. The only thing that's negative about that is there are likely going to be more layoffs. The world is likely going to get into a fairly nasty place because I don't know if you've noticed, but whether you go into a bank, a med spa, a gym, a restaurant, the work environment is just becoming increasingly more toxic as people become more and more financially strained. And the people who aren't clearing out debt, the people who aren't clearing out assets, people who are still buying into this, I want to flex on the gram, they're going to be in for a very sad reality 2026 and beyond. But if you prepare yourself, you can do well, you can be happy, you can be at peace, and then you can buy that home perhaps you wanted, or you can rent for several years and just kind of chill and live below your means. A shocking concept, I know. I'm just tired. I'm sharing all this information because I'm tired of people looking at me like I'm crazy for the decisions I'm making in life, while the whole time I'm looking at them thinking, I can't believe they think I can't believe they think I'm crazy when I'm thinking they're crazy. If you like this information, if you like the vibes, subscribe or don't. I don't care. Have a lovely week.